Welcome to Honeybee, real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. My name is Richard. When I booked a cruise, it was because I wanted some uninterrupted time with my girlfriend, a chance for us to relax and reconnect without distractions. I thought it would be the perfect romantic escape, just the two of us. But instead of the peaceful, intimate trip I imagined, I was blindsided. My girlfriend secretly downgraded the cabin I paid for and used the extra money to upgrade her friends' rooms. Friends she invited without asking me. She never expected how I would respond. But I did exactly what I needed to do to remind both her and myself of what I will and will not tolerate. Andrea and I had been together for 3 years. We met through a mutual friend at a casual dinner. From the moment we were introduced, the connection was instant. It was one of those rare times when conversation flows effortlessly, as if you've known the person forever. That's how it felt with her. We talked all night. What drew me in most was her energy, vibrant, confident, always with something to say. Later, she told me what attracted her to me was the way I listened. She was used to people dismissing her feelings or making her feel invisible. With me, she said, she felt truly seen, and that mattered to me. I think we each found something we needed in the other. From then on, we kept in touch. Texts became calls. Calls turned into meetups, and within 3 months, we were officially together. The early days were exciting, like most new relationships. It wasn't flawless, no relationship is, but it felt worth building on. About a year in, Andrea made a major life choice. She left her corporate job to start her own freelance agency. I supported her completely. I admired her ambition, even though I quietly worried about the risks. She was confident she'd succeed, and I believed in her enough to stand by her. But the business didn't grow as quickly as she hoped. Clients trickled in slowly, and money was tight. Eventually, she asked if she could move in with me to save on rent while she worked in the agency. I agreed without hesitation. From that point on, we shared everything. Our space, our bills, our routines, and more emotional weight than before. Things weren't always smooth, but I stayed because I cared for her deeply and believed in the best parts of her, even when her flaws showed. Andrea was the type who wore her emotions openly. You always knew exactly how she felt. If something upset her, she reacted immediately. She could be hot-headed. Small disagreements could spiral into full-blown debates. And she hated being told she was wrong. Even when she knew she was. She'd either double down or shut down, rarely admitting fault. But she said she wanted to work on that, and I trusted her effort. Outside of arguments, she was fun, opinionated, and full of life. She used to tease me, saying, "Without me, your life would be one long nap," and I'd laugh because there was some truth to it. I'm a homebody by nature. I recharge with peace and routine, takeout, a TV show, and quiet conversation. Andrea, on the other hand, thrived on social energy, brunches, late-night drinks, weekend road trips. That difference sometimes created tension. She'd joke, not so jokingly, "Why don't you ever want to go out?" Or, "I feel like I'm the only one making memories here." Meanwhile, I was just trying to make it through the week without burning out. Working in customer support meant I spent 8 hours a day dealing with complaints and demands, and by the time I got home, I was drained. She thought I wasn't trying. I thought she didn't understand me. We were speaking different emotional languages, but kept trying to meet in the middle. When our 3rd anniversary approached, I wanted to do something truly meaningful, not just another dinner or generic gift. Then I remembered something she'd mentioned months before while showing me photos of her cousin's cruise. We should totally do one someday. I want to dress up, eat at those late-night buffets, and watch the sunset over the water. She had lit up when she said it. The idea of a cruise made me uneasy. I've had a fear of open water since childhood. But this wasn't about me. It was about us. I decided to face my fear and give her something she truly wanted. One night, after a long day at work, I told her I had a surprise plan for our anniversary. I'd already gotten time off approved, so we could spend the week at sea together. At first, she looked surprised, then overjoyed, wrapping her arms around my neck and kissing me like I'd given her the world. Instead of booking it myself, I asked Andrea to handle the details. She'd mentioned a cruise line she liked, and I figured she'd be happier choosing exactly what she wanted. That night, she spent hours on her laptop, comparing ships and packages. She finally found a perfect one. It lined up exactly with our anniversary week. I remember thinking, this might be the most thoughtful thing I've ever done for her. I had no idea how far from perfect it would turn out to be. 2 days later, she casually asked if I'd be okay with a few of her friends joining us. I told her honestly I wasn't. This trip was meant to be just us. She brushed it off, saying, "It's just an idea. Don't worry about it." And I thought that was the end of it. But days before the cruise, we had a serious argument about something she did that crossed a line for me. She shut down afterward, keeping her distance, and our conversations became cold and empty. I kept trying to bridge the gap, hoping the trip would help us reconnect. On the morning of departure, I was still hopeful. The port was chaotic, but Andrea seemed to know exactly where she was going. She took charge at the counter, and when I finally got my key card, I noticed it said, "Interior room." Confused, I asked if it was a mistake. We were supposed to have a suite. She looked me straight in the eye and said, "No, I changed it. Figured you could use your own space." At first, I thought she was joking, but then I saw her friends arriving. Friends I'd said I didn't want there, dragging their suitcases toward the ship. Not only had she downgraded my cabin, she'd used the money to upgrade theirs. I was furious, but didn't cause a scene. I asked her why she'd do this when it was supposed to be our trip, and she replied, "We are together. We're on the same ship." That was my breaking point. If she could disregard me like this now, what would stop her from doing worse in the future? Without another word, I picked up my bag, turned around, and walked out. In the parking lot, I blocked her number, blocked her on social media, and cut off every way she could reach me. She could enjoy her 2-week cruise with her friends on my dime, but I wanted no part in it. While she was gone, I packed all her belongings into boxes and left them neatly in the garage. I changed the locks so she couldn't just walk in. When she returned and found her key didn't work, she knocked, asking why I'd left and blocked her. I told her plainly, "We're done. You're not coming back here." She tried arguing, then begging, but I refused to debate it. She eventually left, but later called from a friend's phone to arrange picking up her things. When she came, I opened the garage and stood by the door while she loaded her car. She barely spoke, but kept looking at me like she didn't recognize a man who wasn't taking her back. She left without saying goodbye. Afterward, mutual friends started asking what happened, and I realized Andrea had been telling people we simply fell out of love, painting it as a mutual, calm decision. That wasn't the truth. She disrespected me, and I'd walked away. That wasn't fading love. It was betrayal met with self-respect. Eventually, I started telling people exactly what happened. How I'd paid for an anniversary cruise for just us, and how she secretly downgraded my cabin to upgrade her friends without my consent. Some people were shocked. Some apologized for believing her version. But I didn't tell my side to win sympathy. I told it because I refused to let the last chapter of our story be a lie.